How's it going, my friends? Are you well? I hope you're well. Scott here from Cookie Cottage. Thought you might like to join me for a potato reveal. I've got this one and this one to do. They are the ones that were in the polytunnel, and then I took out and then I left them because they were the they were kind of like the healthiest or the greenest looking that were left over, and I didn't need all the potatoes at the time anyway. So, but I'm actually after the compost again. That seems to be the reason for harvesting at the minute. So. Yeah, let's just get on with it. All I've done is chop off the hulms there, just at the base, just to make it a wee bit easier. And I can spot a stone already, so I'll just throw that to the side. It's very rough compost, but like I always say, by growing potatoes in the rough compost, it kind of finishes it off, and it tends to be a lot better whenever it's finished. Now this is particularly dry, so I expect it to be, I don't expect it to be fantastic. We'll see how we get on now. It's one of those 20-litre buckets from the restaurant, same as usual, and the variety is British Queens. So we're not expecting much, but they are lovely potatoes, and so we'll be happy with whatever we get. Okay, my friends, just knock it over here and we'll have a quick look. 2 seconds now just to tip it over. There we are, and you can see, sure enough it is, it's bone dry. Decent root system though, eh? Not bad. Circling at the bottom as always. Oh, really dry, like bone dry. So hopefully it hasn't been dry too long. And oh, I immediately saw a worm there. So we'll be careful. I wouldn't have expected a worm to survive when it was this dry, but it must have found a moist spot pocket, which I think it has in and around the old seed potato. So can you see that, guys? It's a little baby worm that's obviously been born in the pot. And he's surviving on finishing off the old seed potato. Not just for moisture, but for bacteria as well as food. Isn't that interesting? Now, obviously, in the past, whenever I'm tipping these over and the compost is moist, we see lots of insects and lots of worms. But whenever it's this dry, I really didn't expect to see that. And there's another little insect as well. So in a way, we're kind of doing these guys a favour, because I will get them somewhere moist as soon as possible. Okay, so we'll continue on with the reveal and see if we can get any spuds. There's a couple of spuds coming now. There's another wee one. Sorry about the camera work, I'm doing it with one hand. Lovely wee spuds. Now they're like wee pebbles, that's what I always call them, wee British Queens. They're like wee pebbles. Obviously they'll get a lot bigger if you put them in the ground, and they can yield a lot more as well if you leave them a wee bit longer than I have. But as I say, it is what it is. I'm after this compost to be used for actually potatoes again, would you believe? I've got some tubers left, not very many. There's another worm. God love them. I don't know how they're staying alive in there. It's so dry. Now, to be fair, it's only been dry for about 24 hours, but you can see they'll be desperate for moisture and bacteria. So we'll look after those worms after this reveal. I promise I'll get them into either the wormeries, the vermicomposting systems, or on the land somewhere, and we'll regenerate the land with the soil coming off the potatoes. This is turning out to be a lovely little yield here from this 20-litre bucket. It's just our homemade compost. It's just had rainwater. Actually, it's had Supersoil probably twice. Just as I've been using it on the back garden, I did use it on these potatoes that were out the back, and so because these ones have been outside as well for a wee while. There you can see there's the old seed potato, completely finished, and the worms were just feasting on that kind of moist, spent potato and the root system. Now there's a couple of small potatoes on there like that, and they would, as you know, start to form a potato plant again if I don't. Sometimes I just pop them like that, but I'll leave those to the side for the sake of the time of the video, and sure, you know what I plan on doing there. And oh, there's a nice one there. Well, you can see that's really rough. There's a stone from the driveway there. It's definitely, now there's unfortunately a piece of plastic, but that sometimes does happen. I'm particularly careful, but now and again there always seems to be a wee bit of plastic that just gets in. Normally it's plastic from like an envelope, you know, or a piece of cardboard that you just that I missed. Wow, this is turned out to be a great little yield. There's another seed. So there was 2 seed potatoes in this one, and there's the other one. Look, now it's on its way out there, you can see that, but there was a wee bit of energy left in it, but not much, nothing worth talking about. And Somebody mentioned in one of the last potato reveals, do you plant the seed potatoes again whenever you find they've still got loads of energy? And I haven't. If I have done in the past, I forget. I know it can be done. There's other YouTubers there that do that, and it's been suggested by a lot of people. It's just no. I haven't done it, and if I have, it was ages ago that I can't remember, so I don't want to say yeah. Oh, there's a lovely worm there. Now, he is bone dry compost, so I don't know how these worms are surviving. As I keep saying, sorry I'm repeating myself, but we will get them into a safe place ASAP. And the compost looks lovely, it's just it's a bit dry, but I will charge that up with some water and probably some super soil as well, to get this next pot of potatoes going. I've still got a little bit of that left, so let's have a look now. Gosh guys, it's quite a good yield. Now normally I would put them into a blue basket for you to have a look at. You know, those little mushroom baskets that are really good for showing off your potatoes after a reveal. People get a real idea of what's in them then. Well, actually, if you bear with me, I'll grab... Oh, no, because it just means more time and I'll have to nip away and set the camera down. Sure, you can get an idea, but guys, that's... You know, I'm going to say 3 or 4 pounds this time. Normally I say 1 or 2, but definitely that is a really nice yield of potatoes. Obviously, if I had scales, I could weigh them for you. I never weigh them. I always just guesstimate. Being you know, us fishermen don't really like to weigh things. We like to have a good old stab at it. Normally, we're pretty good. Okay, my friends, so there you go. British Queens grown in our homemade compost or living soil. As you can tell, it's still living even though it's dry. And yeah, second early, home safe seed, recycled plastic tub from the restaurants. Soil goes back on the land. We drop a super soil. What can I say? It's yeah, a real cracker. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much for your time. And as always, I hope your gardens are thriving, your microbes are multiplying, and your fungi are bursting out of your beds. Send lots of love.